Welcome to another video. This time I want to talk about all the Gil methods that I recently found out or just found out right now very quickly when I just started into the patch 6.1. And yeah, this of course includes crafting and gathering. But yeah, I think we should start chronologically and with some sort of hierarchy that kind of evolves into the big crafting pieces that are kind of the most expensive part of this Gil method here. So the first thing that's kind of the necessity of getting into the crafts and getting materials and ingredients that you need for the crafts are Thavnarian corn. If you have access to those, I think that's a gathering node in Thavnar, and you should be able to get this with kind of a mediocre item level, at least 4 or 5 of them each. And yeah, you can see the prices of them. So if you just have one character that can just camp on this spot, on this node, you should be able to make a solid Gil right now, because even though many people are on this, this is highly demanded, because for example I can't get these, I can't gather these. So if I want to craft some further into the crafting system and want to do the high-end craft that's just released right now, I need those corns. And yeah, the same thing can be applied to the Ablin Danbury. These require some certain materials like raw Ablin Danbury. That's basically the pendant to the corns, the Thavnarian corn, and that's basically, yeah, this, you can see that's the same price. So if you have both of these active and you just rotate between these nodes, you can make a lot of Gil right now. Yeah, if you just calculate that for one day maybe, that could already be 1 or 2 million Gil just for having the gatherers up. That's amazing. The prices will drop, of course, but yeah, look at that. That's really good. That's a solid amount of Gil you can just make by gathering. Okay, so the next step, of course, means we want these base materials to be crafted so that we're able to craft those into the crafting items, the crafting gear itself. For example, I will just give you my personal example as the Weaver, where I'm also a specialist, which is, yeah, I think kinda a good idea to have, because then you can reach solid values here, even though you're still on the 560 gear, which I think it's passable for this job. You don't need more, you don't need the better gear to actually craft the better gear, which of course would not make sense at all. But yeah, the prerequisite here, or the requirement, is that you have the harnish fiber, for example, to be crafted on high quality. And yeah, you can see by the footage here that I'm doing this with this macro. You can also find this macro in the description. These might not be the highest optimized macros or the best macros I could find, but yeah, I worked on at least the crafting macro for the gear itself quite a while, so they are kind of optimized. And yeah, the specialist version might be very odd to you because it uses hasty touches, but I just figured out that because of not consuming any CP at all, with the combination of manipulation using this 2 times in a row or 2 times in one craft, it's actually very useful to make use of something that doesn't cost any CP, still get some durability back, and yeah, finalize the craft with a higher CP value, a higher quality value than you would normally do that with the non-specialist version. And yeah, the difference between these are basically you have more CP on the specialist as you would have on the normal non-specialist. For those of you that don't have any single clue about crafting, check out the macros found in the description. I will put both of these macros into the description. And yeah, if you just meet the requirements of the stats, I can only recommend to check out my latest video about the 6.05, I think, yeah, 6.05 crafting video, where I talk about my gear and what you need to get there to craft or use these macros properly. But yeah, my rule of thumb always goes to max out CP as best as you can, and then just basically meet the requirements of the recipe. So craftsmanship and control, just basically to the point where the recipe requires you to go. And that's all I need here, and that's all these macros require. So if you meet the requirements of the recipe, as well as maxing out your CP, then using the Zaitu Vunu tea or meal, whatever, it's actually soup, I don't know. Yeah, it looks like soup. Then the Cunning Craftsman's Draught in high quality both, of course, that will also max out your CP, because these macros are really kinda flashed out to the last point of CP that you can possibly get with this gear. Yeah, then you will be able to craft those. And of course, this will lead then to yeah, probably a very, very solid profit here. I already tried to sell them, but yeah, you know how it is. Especially on crafter gear, like I said, it's really a hard market there, and the target group is not that, yeah, not the best target group, because most of them that will actually make use of these items, of these pieces of that gear, yeah, are basically able to craft it by themselves. And look at that. I could literally cry. I could literally cry, but also I'm a bit salty. What the heck is Silent Whisper doing here? Or the retainer called Silent Whisper. What is that? Why do you undercut like that? That's totally stupid. That's really totally stupid. And yeah, I hope that at some point people realize that it's stupid, but I believe they will never learn that lesson. And yeah, that means we're now forced to undercut as well, because yeah, prices will never be as high as now. So if we just don't follow on this trend now, it's too late. So yeah, we have to cut it down a bit. But yeah, long story short, there is another way to get some gil. If you're still a crafter, I think that's kind of a necessity right now. I haven't figured out other methods yet, but there are some crazy price drops on the classical gear. For example, this, I just checked this maybe 2 or 3 hours ago. There were not a single piece of there in the market. So nobody sold this at that point. And people will buy it right now because they want to have quick access to the Alliance raid, for example, or to the new Extreme trial. So yeah, look at that. Oh my god. That could actually be the best moment to sell some classical gear, or just resetting the market. Look at that. I would just buy this out. Yeah, here we're not yet there, but for some pieces we are already there. So maybe you could check this out, recover and reset the market by just buying out a last piece that is handled on a very low price, and then put it back in with a high price. Yeah, just go through all your jobs that you have on level 90, for example. Here the samurai. Okay, masks is there. Chest piece is there. And yeah, whenever you find something missing on the market, or where very, very low stock is, try to reset the market if the prices are very low, or just, yeah, follow on the trend here. Look at that. 200,000 for classical gear is really, really high, because I think the last time I sold this was a significant price drop in the whole value of this. So yeah, now may be the best time to resell classical gear again. The other thing that could come to my mind, because there's basically no chance that anybody could make tons of them by themselves if they just haven't stockpiled them in advance, you could try out to sell some materia in raw numbers here, for example. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how normalized this is, and how many people are preparing for patches like that. So yeah, really the best step right now to get some gil is by not investing anything at all, and just basically pumping out your gatherers to max level. Yeah, then just use the nodes that are kind of timely limited, where people, yeah, supply is limited by time. So if you just camp the node like others do, you will be part of the market at least, and that's, I think, something good and something positive. And I actually like that that crafting is not the big king anymore, and gathering kinda catches up a bit to that point. But yeah, I will keep you updated. I will do some more crafting, I will do some more testing, I will do the content, and as soon as I find out new methods to get some gil, I will of course give you an updated video and inform you about these further steps and further things you can do for yourself to make some solid coin. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep loving Final Fantasy.